Good Thursday to you. I'm Storm Team 9 Meteorologist Patrick Ellis here with your ENC Weather Update. This one is for April the 10th, 2014. Beautiful day across eastern North Carolina. Temperatures back up into the mid-70s. Sunny skies. It didn't help with the pollen, but at least it was nice outside across the area, and that will continue to be the story the next several days across the east as we're expecting more temperatures in the 70s and 80s. The next rain chance doesn't look to be for another 5 days or so, and that won't be happening until next week. So we'll talk about that. Also look ahead to a little bit of a cool down possibly in the forecast. We'll talk about that here in the forecast update video. Now here's a look at the 3-day trend. I mean, if you look at that, that's just looking nice. We're going to be in the 80s the next couple days, mostly to partly sunny skies. Can't complain about it. But then you look at the longer range. Yeah, there's 80s in the forecast, but there's also some 50s possibly in the forecast as we head towards next week. Why is that? Talk about that here in a couple minutes. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. High pressure control right now. That's going to stay pretty much anchored over the southeast over the next few days, but we are watching that frontal boundary sagging southward through the Ohio River Valley that will be bringing us the chance for maybe a shower, mainly north of US 64 early on Saturday morning, but for the most part we're just going to see a general increase in cloudiness, and then the sunshine comes right back into the forecast as we head into the afternoon hours of your Saturday. Here's a look at our precision forecast model. Overnight we're expecting upper 40s, low 50s inland, low to mid 50s near the coastline. Now tomorrow the winds get quite breezy out of the southwest at about 15 to 20 miles per hour, higher gusts. Most areas should be able to be blowtorched up into the upper 70s, low 80s. Now, if you live near the coastline, you likely top out low to mid 70s, but then the sea breeze takes hold and knocks you down back into the upper 60s through the afternoon hours. So places like Swan Quarter, Hatteras, Morehead City, and Columbia, that's where we're going to see that sea breeze try to take a little bit more of a precedent during the afternoon hours. But expect mostly sunny skies through the day. Now, a general increase in cloudiness as we head into the late afternoon, early evening hours won't amount to very much as that front tries to slide in here. And we could see a shower. I just don't think it's going to be all that big of an issue. And Saturday, the forecast model trying to print out 83 for a high. I've got 80 right now. Wouldn't be out of the question to see 83 on Saturday afternoon with those mostly sunny skies. And again, with the southwest wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Pollen forecast going to be way up there. Oak, birch, and juniper, the main culprits out of the tree category. We're kind of bumping that up higher than the high category, kind of in between high and extreme right now. Grasses, low to moderate. Weeds and mold, not a big issue right now, but I'm sure they will become a little bit more prevalent as we head into the next couple of weeks. Here's a look at our long ranger. We're talking about that frontal boundary sagging southward. And again, we're going to be talking about mainly an increase in cloudiness. Not very much going on there. And we should be able to make it into the 80s again on Saturday in a mixture of sun and clouds. We'll likely go with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the 50s early on Sunday morning, back into the 80s Sunday afternoon, mostly sunny skies. But we're watching a frontal boundary that's going to be approaching us from the west come Tuesday. And the upper air pattern sets up like this, mainly zonal to start it off, but we're watching this area of low pressure that's back over just off of the California coastline. That's going to meet up with some cold air that's going to come southward as we head towards, say, Monday. Big trough diving southward, and that's going to mean for some cooler air in here by the time we head towards next week. I see another little shot coming across the flow back over towards Nevada. We'll watch that in the long range, but needless to say, there's going to be a cool down somewhere in this forecast, and it looks like it's going to be sometime, say, Wednesday or Thursday. And looking at Wednesday, this is Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we're going to be talking about a cool down. Frontal boundary is going to be pushing offshore. High pressure going to be diving southward across the New England states. Low pressure over the plain states. Cooler air wrapping around that. We're going to have the wedge set up back in the forecast as we head towards late next week. And that's going to keep us on the cool side for a good couple of days. Likely Wednesday and Thursday going to be quite cool comparative to the last several days. All right, here's a look at the 12Z GFS run. This is looking at 2 p.m. on Friday. A little trough trying to dive southward. That's going to be with our frontal boundary that's going to try to eke in here on late Friday night into Saturday, but not expecting anything to come out of that. Friday looking great across the area. Nice little ridge trying to build in there as well. should be able to afford us the upper 70s and low 80s. Now, you see how the pressure gradient fairly strong, so that's why we're going to have those brisk southwesterly winds at about 15, 20 miles per hour through the day on Friday. Now, the winds will start to let up a little bit as we head through the overnight hours, but you see the frontal boundary, it just kind of washes out as it gets closer to us and kind of transfers its energy offshore with an area of low pressure that kind of develops just offshore. Very minuscule low pressure. So nothing doing for us as far as rain showers are concerned, but I did make the mention for maybe a shower early on Saturday morning for areas north of US 64. Highs on Saturday still expected to be in the 80s. Very warm day again, mostly sunny skies, and don't be surprised if maybe a shower pops out during the day, so we'll keep that 10% chance for a shower through the day on Saturday. Nice sprawling high pressure across the southeast. That's going to keep us nice and warm as well as we head towards Sunday, but look what happens here. Sunday, little short wave coming through Texas, then you have another piece of energy coming southward, and some cooler air up here to the north. I think all this is going to come together here as we head towards next week. Now, look at this mega ridge that's starting to develop back over towards the west. That's going to be another fixture in the forecast, and that's going to help to shun all this off towards the east. Monday, we're expecting another warm day. High temperatures, low 80s, and maybe a shower, but we should say mainly dry. I think the better rain chances come in here as we head towards the evening hours of Monday. I think overnight Monday and into Tuesday, that's when we get our best rain chances in here. But look at the cold air coming southward. Our high pressure developing back over towards the north and west of us, back over into the Canadian provinces. That's going to come slamming southward. 540 line all the way down to about Cape Girardeau, and a good moisture feed coming up off the Gulf of Mexico as we head through Tuesday. So we're going to be quite wet through the day on Tuesday, and likely going to keep temperatures steady somewhere in the 70s. I don't think we're going to warm up all that much, even though that the 850 profiles would suggest a little warmer. I don't think we're going to be able to get that warm. I've got 70 on the board right now for Tuesday with a good chance for rain in the forecast and maybe a rumble of thunder or two, but we're going to be watching things. Maybe some gusty winds with this. I don't expect it much in the way of severe weather, but we'll be watching it nonetheless. Now, the GFS is a little quicker to get this system offshore. I think it's going to be a little bit slower to get offshore. So right now, we're going to keep a chance for rain in the forecast into Wednesday. And you see here, the GFS is clearing the board fairly quickly on Wednesday. I think Wednesday is going to be a cool day with some northerly flow in here. And the wedge starting to develop. High temperatures on Wednesday likely to be in the upper 50s, low 60s. With some of the indications maybe getting us a frost in here. Maybe. We'll have to watch that. But I do believe that we're going to be cooler than what the models are trying to lead on to as we head towards Wednesday as well as Thursday of this upcoming week. Then we head out towards Thursday. Again, the wedge is going to be there, and the models are a little bit reserved as far as showers are concerned. I don't have any rain chances in the forecast right now, but I do believe that will be cloudy, partly to mostly to cloudy skies likely on Thursday. And then another low developing back off towards the west, and that doesn't get here until we head towards next week. But, man, that's looking like a nice little severe weather look with snow on the back end of that as we head towards next Friday. But we'd be starting to try to warm up, but man, that'd be a breezy look there on the GFS, even with a northeast flow. I mean, that's a breezy northeast wind in here, and that's going to drive down the temperatures, especially coming off the cooler Atlantic waters. I mean, we'd be talking about temperatures staying in the 50s even into Friday, because you got to look at the flow pattern. I mean, like, you got 1042 high with cooler air coming. I mean, the water temperatures off a duck right now is like 49 degrees. You got that blowing in here across the area. That's going to keep you much cooler and also keep a pretty cool air here across the area, and likely an inversion setting up because of the fact that we're going to have cool air at the surface and warmer air aloft. A lot of things going on here. So, needless to say, I think the end of next week, not looking all that great, is going to be a little bit more murky than what we've got this weekend. So, enjoy the weekend while we have it. That's going to do it for me here on the ENC Weather Update video. You can stay up to date with us Facebook, Twitter, WNCT.com, and our brand new Storm Team 9 app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Have a great rest of your evening, a great day tomorrow, and a great weather week ahead with this great weekend weather that we're going to have.